Our next guest is a singer, musician, producer, and a fashion icon. And when people ask me why I always wear huge hoop earrings, she is the reason why. It is my homage to the one and only Jody Watley. Jody first made a name for herself as a dancer on the iconic show Soul Train, going on to showcase her own voice in the R&B group Shalamar, and then ultimately, she became a Grammy-winning solo artist. Well, today, Jody is still making music and continuing to prove why she is one of the top female artists of all time. Please, I'm all nervous. Please welcome from her home in Los Angeles, the forever fabulous Miss Jody Watley. Oh, my God. Listen, I pulled out the big ones for you. I was like, let me pull the big guns out for Jody Watley to show her how much of an influence she's been on my fashion and a lot of the identity I think I have as a Black woman. It's just great to have you on.
Oh, it's an honor to be on. I love you, and you always look so fabulous, and so I'm happy to be here and love the hoops, yes.
You know, your fashion, as I said, sometimes was talked about equally to the fantastic hits you made. It is so interesting to me because today even I have a whole glam squad. You used to put it all together yourself. You said you even at one point wanted to launch a fashion line because you knew people wanted to dress like you, but you couldn't get any takers back then.
Yeah, and I think one of the great things about, as time has gone on with younger artists like Rihanna, for instance, who's been able to take her style and brand it and, with beauty and clothes and everything. And it was when I first became a solo artist and, recognized that, people were copying my style, inspired by my style, the whole thing. I'd have those meetings and have blank eyes looking at me like, what do you mean, fashion line?
To your point now, people recognize the culture and what individualism means and how it's inspiring. When you were fashioning not just your look, but your style and the hits that you made, what was your key inspiration?
Well, as a little girl, my first influence, like most, Diana Ross, the Supremes, so glamorous and always full of grace. And, through my life, always being authentic to myself and holding on to that. So at each period of my life, whether I was on Soul Train or in a group, but in particular being a solo artist, I, would tell the label, I don't want to look like anyone else. Wow. I don't want to do dancing choreography with tons of dancers. I want to really stand out and shine as Jody Watley. And that's what I continue to do.
That's what you do and did. I have to ask you, when you made that transition to a solo artist, especially for a woman, you're in a group Shalamar with two men, and you're making this huge leap of faith of your own in an industry that's not always kind, honestly, to women. What gave you the courage to say, I'm going to step out on my own. I'm going to let Jody Watley shine?
I think it was the ultimate act of self-care for myself at a young age because, on the outside, people loved the songs and it looked like it was a lot of fun, but, it was a bit of a toxic environment and, not having the respect and not being paid. And my dad passed away suddenly the year before I left, and his passing changed my life because it was a wake-up call that, don't waste time in life being unhappy, and you have to go with joy. Yeah. So I didn't leave to become a solo artist. I left to find my joy, and it just so happened, the solo career and my success, I always feel like, and I always tell people, I always hope that I am an inspiration to not be afraid to walk your own path, no matter what, because people told me I was crazy, I'd never make it. And it's like, I'm going to make it no matter what I do. If I'm in a department store, whatever God has for me, I'll be just fine as long as I'm happy and I have joy. So I'm all about the wellness and self-care. It's a thing now, but I'm always about that.
You gave me goosebumps with that. You're just so busy. You've been named the first ever ambassador for the National Museum of African American Music. And this fall, they're set to host a major retrospective of your songs and style. What does that mean for you? And by the way, the overall arc of music and appreciation of African American artists.
Well, it's an honor to be a part of the National Museum of African American Music. It's a great museum for music lovers of all ages, and to know that I'll be inducted as and have the exhibition, the Jody Watley Experience, is just it's just incredible. And to represent not just great music, but great style and longevity,
Yeah.
which is not an easy feat, for a woman in this business that, really started as a teenager. And so I'm looking forward to curating, some of my iconic looks that will be on display there. And so it's just wonderful. And to have a museum that is about Black music, and it, from the 1600s and till now and ongoing, it's just so important.
You mentioned longevity, and I think we don't celebrate that enough, in my opinion. When you perform now, how does it feel?
I'm still like a kid. I love performing. I love connecting with my fans. And to continue to do what I love, musically, and also, business wise, to the wellness, have candles, and I've always, it's important, I think, for anyone to have a vision for yourself.
Yeah.
And not be one dimensional. And so, artist, songwriter, businesswoman, philanthropist,
Well, that's, you talk
and
about
mom.
not being one-dimensional. I didn't know that you were the first woman of color and the first recording artist to make a fitness video. It was called Dance to Fitness. I mean, you
Yes.
do it all. Look at you there. Oh, my goodness. I can't. Look at you.
And I was rocking the short haircut too.
I love it. I love it. So that, to your point, is about the longevity. You were always willing and are willing to try everything. Now, that brings me to trying TikTok. You say that TikTok is the soul train for this generation. In what way?
Well, I think so because, everybody lives on their phones and, probably too much so. But, people to see the joy of dancing, all ages, kids dancing, grandparents dancing, and so that's why I say that, because it is something that everyone, even if you're not signed on TikTok, you're going to see a TikTok video of somebody dancing at some point.
I love it. Okay, before I let you go, I've got to ask, how many pairs of hoop earrings do you own, Miss Jody Watley?
Oh, they have their own closet. Tons.
Come on. Where is my picture of this closet? Oh, listen, that is incredible. A closet for just the hoops. I will be visiting that closet soon. Jody, it was so good to have you on.
It was just my pleasure. And congratulations on all of your success, and keep shining. I call it the wattage. Let your light shine. And it just beams out to all of us when we see you. And I think that is just shine. Continue to shine. And that's what I'll do too.
Well, I wouldn't be here without women like you to look up to. So, Jody, thank you so much.